Our next guest is Jonathan Turley, writing in the New York Post, "Don't believe Democrats miss. There's clear evidence for investigating President Biden." Jonathan Turley is a constitutional law attorney, a Fox News contributor, and just listen to one more piece of sound from Jim Jordan from our interview last hour.
You got a politician who does certain things, those actions benefit his family financially, and then there's an effort to conceal it. Yeah, I think the effort to cover it up and conceal it was, the way David Weiss and Leslie Wolf handled this investigation. But if you really go back to the start, it's Hunter Biden's involvement with Burisma.
Jonathan Turley, as you've had a chance to digest everything that happened yesterday, we wake up this morning, Leslie Wolf behind closed doors right now. What's going on?
Well, things are going poorly, I think, for the Biden team. Obviously, this was not a great week. The impeachment inquiry is indeed that. It's an inquiry. It's an effort to confirm these facts. The Democrats voted unanimously to stop further questions, even though half of Americans, according to a recent poll, support the inquiry. 70% of Americans believe the president has acted illegally or unethically. So these questions do have to be answered. Now, whether they'll be answered by Wolf is a very good question. She may still be operating under instructions from the Department of Justice as to what she can discuss about the handling of this case. The glaring issue remains the fact that the Department of Justice allowed these early felonies to expire. The whistleblowers have said they had a deal on the table which would have allowed that statute of limitations to be extended. For some inexplicable reason, Weiss allowed it to expire. And I got to tell you, I pride myself on being able to share both sides of a legal issue. I can't imagine the rationale for allowing felonies to expire in the middle of an investigation. And maybe she can, because I can't think of one.
Fair answer. Let's talk about Donald Trump now, because the special counsel Jack Smith is trying to fast track this to the U.S. Supreme Court. I don't know how the Supremes feel about it. John Yoo and his friend John Malcolm, John Yoo out of Stanford, writes, the DOJ's latest ploy to get Biden reelected. Number 3, guys. Get Trump in the Supreme Court. Just want you to answer this in the following way. Does the court feel the pressure of time? Because there's a request to get answers in from the Trump team before December 20th. Do they feel that, sir?
Well, Bill, that's the operative question. What comes out of the filing of the special counsel is this sense of urgency that we need to try Trump before the election. The court might not have the same sense of urgency. Even if Trump was convicted, it wouldn't affect his eligibility to stand for election or to serve as president. The court normally prefers to have Court of Appeals weigh in on these questions, particularly novel questions like this one. So the court could ultimately say, we want to hear from the D.C. Circuit. We don't want to leapfrog over the process. We'll stick with regular order. And that may mean that you'll have to move that trial back some. I mean, the district court has already stayed further proceedings on the district court. Smith may lose that March trial date. But he clearly is doggedly fighting to try to get this thing done before the election.
But why would he put his thumb on the scale on that? To me, it makes him look like he has a stake in trying to get this done before the election, rather than just being the special prosecutor. He's the one that's handling all of these things. Jason Willick of the Washington Post wrote a really good piece yesterday in which he explains this is an unusual situation for someone in the court system to be so concerned about getting something done before an election.
Yeah, it is. In fact, the DOJ policy has been to avoid trials and filings before elections. This sort of flips the script. And so, there's a number of reasons why you might want to do this. One is that you really do believe the voters should know if they have someone who is going to be convicted of a felony. The other possibility is that he is aware that if Trump wins, he could self-pardon. He doesn't have to wait for a trial. And so Smith might never see a jury in the case. Also, the new attorney general could effectively scuttle the case. So there may be an existential threat viewed by the special counsel for his prosecution that we really need to sort of stick the landing before this election.
All right, Jonathan Turley. Well, we're underway. Leslie Wolf is...
So get on the pommel horse and stick the landing for us, will you? Right on.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.